And if the beat live, you know Lil Ju made it.
Hands on my knees, shaking ass on my thigh shit. Post me a pic, finna make me a profit. When the liquor hit, then the bitch get toxic.
Hello, it's Camilla Rose with Royalty Rose Nails. I'm coming at you today with the acrylic application video. I did have to edit this video. It was pretty lengthy, but I tried to make it as short as possible. So I hop right in with acrylic application. I'm using the Alpha Oval number 10 brush with my Valentino acrylic system in the color Bubblegum. For this application, I did prime the nails. I used both the acid-based primer, which is the No Lift. That's my favorite. I do believe it's the one that they use at the salon. It smells the same, as well as the Young Nails Protein Bond. I used it, I believe I put the Protein Bond on first and then the No Lift primer, and then I did also put more of the Protein Bond on the length of the nails just so that the acrylic had no issue adhering. So I'm going to go ahead and let you watch the acrylic application, and I will come back when I start sculpting the nail. For this next nail, I'm going to be doing a nail form. She did crack her nail. I have fixed it with resin. And she had been wearing it like that for 2 days into her appointment. So pretty much I used the Young Nails form. I didn't squeeze it at the tip because she specifically asked for a ballerina shape. So I didn't want to make it too much of a stiletto or a tapered square. Her natural nail, as you can see underneath, is pretty long. And that skin that grows underneath, you do have to be cautious when you're placing a nail form if your client has longer nails, because that little piece of skin underneath, if you stick something too far down there, it will hurt them, so keep that in mind. And then make sure when you're checking it, you are checking the width of the nail as well as the length and the thickness. I'm going in with my Young Nails 100 grit file and shaping up the nails, making sure that the edges are crisp. She did want them shortened. Of course, it was a fill, so I used the electric file to shorten them, but mainly for shaping, I use the hand file. And with these nails, because her natural nails are so long, they tend to have a curve to it, or that nice Empress C curved. So since I did use a form, what I did was add a little bit more product at the tip. And while I was filing, I made sure to file the tip at an angle. It kind of gives it more of a slope rather than a straight finish, if that makes sense. But you can see how I filed the edges of her fingernails. That's because, again, her natural nails, when they do grow, they grow at a curve, so they tend to lift away from the nails. So if you do see that happening, make sure you always file that portion away, whether it be with your electric file or the hand file. You see me here going in with the e-file and filing, again, her natural nail, the part that's separated. And since I did use a form on this one, I'm just going ahead and smoothing the edges as well as any product that might be underneath. Again, if your client has long nails and they tend to separate, you want to go ahead and do this step for all of the nails. You also see me here with the e-file shortening a little bit of the length of the nails. It's just easier for me to do it this way rather than filing it off prior to the application. It's just quicker. Since you do file off some of the length, when it comes to the thickness, I like to take the thickness off from underneath the nail rather than filing on top of the nail. So once I take off the length and file the bulk of the nails, I point the client's hand to face me so that I can make sure to get that clean, fresh square. Again, what I said is with the sculpted nail, I took majority of the bulk off the top, as you see here, just to give it more of a empress curve or that C shape that the rest of her nails are already flowing in. That's just the way that I do it, just because I didn't want to take all the product off and put a whole new tip on. So then once I finish using my hand file, I'm going to go ahead and buff. This is a diamond bit just to get that nice smooth texture. You see me running my thumb over it each time I file, just to make sure that there's no lumps and bumps. And again, I do file underneath the nail, make sure that the sides and the edges are all smooth. With this diamond bit, it'll be easy to get that nice flat surface. So next, I'm taking a fingernail polish. This one is a Kiara Sky. It's like a snow white color. It's a nice translucent color. I'm going in on random shapes, flash curing between, just so that it doesn't, fall over or change the shape of the nail itself. And I'm going to be using this in the tacky layer. I'm going to be pressing in neon pigment powders and fading it in a rainbow sort of way. So as I said, there's no specific pattern that I'm putting it down. I'm just allowing it to flow naturally on the nail, curing it in the lamp, and then going ahead with a makeup sponge and just dabbing it in there. It is Pride Nails. She did specifically ask for rainbow Pride nails, and this design is fun specifically because the way that the colors blend. I like to do stuff like that. Now, she's not big on bling and all of that, and this is pretty much one of the first times that she's ever gotten something so bright. So she was definitely in love with it, and it was fun for me. I got messy. Who doesn't like to get messy? This does get messy. Again, it is neon pigment powders, and I ended up using quite a few colors and just allowing the colors or the pigments to blend by themselves. These pigments did get messy. I actually haven't opened a few of them, so when I did, it kind of flew everywhere. So I used, what got on my fingers and what got on the napkin. It actually helped. When I was making purple, instead of using a whole purple pigment, I went ahead and literally mixed the two blue and the purple pigment right there on the napkin that we were using, and it worked. So instead of having to, break out all of the goodies, you can really just be creative with your colors. And with the makeup sponge, I think I ripped one in half and then used the other one. So then when I'm blending specifically with the makeup sponge that I'm using those same colors. It's actually really fun and easy. I'm using the top coat just to give it a protective layer before I outline it with gel. It also helped when I was cleaning it. Make sure you do dust it off before you top coat it. It's just easier that way. The gels that I used is from the Born Pretty store. It's actually spider gel in the color silver. I had to be a little bit more careful with the spider gel because of the texture and how it's actually used. But it actually worked out. It looks really, really pretty. It gave it a little bit of texture. And it was easy to work with. Once you get the hang of it, you can actually use those little threads that it creates and lead it that way. Gives it a nice finish. With my detailer brush, I am taking some swipe, just cleaning up any of those lines. And then I'm going in with my Madame Glam's No Wipe top coat and finishing her off after the cure. I do add cuticle oil and all that good stuff. And that is that. I want to thank you guys for watching the video. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one.